AskReddit by Passionate Live 83. What is something men say that makes women angry? Calm down, but that one works with pretty much anybody, let's be honest. Never in the history of telling people to calm down has anyone actually calmed down. You're just like your mother. I would love to hear this. My husband tells me I'm like my dad, and he's right. He loves my dad, so it doesn't offend me. He'd hate to be compared to his parents though. Are you on your period or something when you disagree with them? And menopause when you're over 40. Everything is attributed to hormones. Guy once told me pain during childbirth is non-existent for women, and we made it up because who would choose to have another kid if that was true? Oh damn, so he just thought every single mom on earth got together one day and said, hey, let's play a prank. Telling you to smile. I'll never forget when I was on a crowded, smelly train to get home from school, and an old man said, don't you know pretty girls are supposed to smile? I said pretty girls can do whatever they want, and walked away. Man, that pissed me off. Why are you being so emotional? Usually said by the men who get super angry all the time and don't realize anger is an emotion. I have worked in male-dominated professions all my adult life. When a man who doesn't do my job tries to tell me how to do my job. Had a customer try that with me, elderly male customer, and I'm also male. I just told him that he could be my sexual advisor. When he asked to explain, I told him, when I want your fucking advice, I'll ask for it. My boss walked out the room laughing. One time a pregnant co-worker walked by, and this dude goes, I hate when women use pregnancy as an excuse to get fat. The rage blackout made me go blind. I would have loved to see that. It's not what they say. It's when they ignore your input, but think the guy who repeated your suggestion is a genius. In a university discussion group once, I had a guy flat out tell me he didn't listen to what I said. Don't just wait to talk, fucking listen. I'm in this very awkward scenario. I manage a small group of people and one of them is a brilliant young woman. But our boss is a raging sexist. During our weekly Zoom meetings with the boss, he ignores what she says, and then I have to step in and say I agree with what Ashley is saying, then go on to repeat her point. He then tells me it's a great point and I'll say, yeah, that was a great point, Ashley. It's so fucking demeaning. I talked to her about it and she said she appreciated me giving her credit. I just wish I didn't have to waste time getting it through our boss's thick Neanderthal head. When they repeat the exact same thing you said in a group where you were ignored, and they get credit for the input and don't point out that you were the one to say it. I'll always be like, you just repeated exactly what I said, give me my credit. I'm a lesbian, and the amount of times guys have said I think you're bi, to be honest, to me is what I can only guess is some form of flirting, is insane. Ask them about their favorite football team. Patriots for life, baby. Nah bro, I can see in your eyes that you are a fan of the Jets, to be honest. You're pretty good, for a girl. I did have a proper look. My girlfriend calls this the man look. If I tell her I can't find something, she will ask if I have had a real look for it or a man look. To her credit, she is absolutely correct, and when she comes to look, she actually moves things around and out of the way before inevitably finding it. Well, what was she wearing? Also, what did she do? Another classic. Meh, I wouldn't mind being catcalled. That's because they picture a tiny harmless woman who geniusly wants to compliment them, but the equivalent of a woman being catcalled by a man would actually be a man being catcalled by a huge Hulk-like creature that could take them down in a second if it doesn't like their reaction. OMG this. My dad literally said, but it's also kind of like a compliment, right? Like, no it's not. It's disgusting. I'm sorry if I hurt your feelings. If I just spent 20 minutes tell you about my hurt feelings and it's still an if. The smallest word can make the biggest difference. They probably tuned out 2 minutes in. When they tell us women how we should deal with body related stuff such as birth, periods etc, or when they expect you to go on BC and fuck up your body and hormones so they can enjoy sex more mayo. Never understood the whole point of birth control makes sex better. How does that make sense when the main side effects are depression and low libido with a side of clotting disorder? Rather be stuck with condoms for life. Why don't you smile more? I'm sorry you feel that way. I've only ever had women say this to me in person, but I see it often from guys online. But yes, it is so infuriating. You look tired. Dismissing their feelings or experiences, saying things like you're overreacting. Sending them to the kitchen, that always works. Well, if they made the sandwich right the first time. Today, we give the Ruth Bader Ginsburg Award for Excellence to Elon Musk and Rupert Murdoch. A guy I was involved with liked to tell me if I could just take her face and put it on your body with your brain, you'd be the perfect woman, thanks. You let him say that to you more than once? First one that comes to mind is calling them females instead of women. I always come back with, calm down David Attenborough.